Hello guys, in discrete structure and graph theory, here we are discussing very important topic, that is principal normal forms. Here we are discussing the 2 points. The first, principal disjunction normal form or the sum of product canonical form. The second point is principal conjunction normal form, or also called the product of sum canonical form. I am Professor S.D. Padia from SHGMC Shekhar. In my previous video, I have already discussed the types of normal forms. The first normal form is disjunction normal form, that is also called the sum of product form. Second is conjunction normal form, also called the product of sum form. The third is principal disjunction normal form, also called the sum of product canonical form. And fourth is the principal conjunction normal form, also called the product of sum canonical form. In previous video, we have derived one relations that conjunction means the and means the product, and disjunction means the or operation and or means the sum operation. To remind this, you have to remind the two words. One is the cap, that is CAP. Conjunction means and means product, and second word is DOS, that is a DOS operating system. That is disjunction means or and or means sum. Now here we are discussing the third type of normal form, that is principal disjunction normal form. We have seen the disjunction means or and or means sum. That's why principal disjunction normal form means the sum of product canonical form. Here we have one statement formula P and Q, or P and not Q, or P and not Q. In this statement formula, there are three elementary product terms which are connected by the sum terms. The P and Q is an elementary product term, P and not Q is an elementary product term, and P and not Q is also the elementary product term. These three elementary product terms are connected by a sum. That's why we call that it is the sum of product, means it is the disjunction normal form. Then what's the difference between the disjunction normal form and principal disjunction normal form? In disjunction normal form, it is not compulsory that every elementary product contain that all the factors. If we have the statement formula for two variables, then it is not compulsory that every term containing all the two factors. But in principal disjunction normal form, it is compulsory that every elementary product contain all the factors. Now in this example, in the first elementary product term, all factors P and Q are present. In second elementary product term, P and not Q, all factors are available, P and Q. And in third elementary product term also, all factors, that is P and Q, are present. That's why it is the example for principal disjunction normal form, that is the sum of product canonical form. Let P and Q are any two statement variables. Then if we construct all possible formulas which consist of the conjunction of P or its negation and conjunction of Q or its negation, none of the formula should contain both the variables and its negation. Means for the sum of product canonical form, we have to find out the elementary product terms. But in elementary product terms, the variable and its negation is not allowed. It is invalid. If we find out the conjunction, that is elementary product of the P or its negation and Q or its negation, then there are the four possibilities. Let's discuss that P and Q are any two atomic variables. Then the P and Q, it is the valid elementary product term. It may be the not P and Q, it may be the P and not Q, and it may be the P not P and not Q. Means P or its negation and Q or its negation. But if we have the elementary product of the P and not P, or the elementary product Q and not Q, then these are the invalid product terms. We have to remind that these elementary product terms we call the mean terms. These valid formulas are called the mean terms or Boolean conjunction of P and Q. If we construct the truth table for this 4 possible combinations, that is 4 mean terms P and Q, P and not Q, not P and Q, and not P and not Q. Then from the truth table we can conclude two things. First, that every mean term is a unique. Second, every mean term contains exactly one truth value true. From the truth table of these mean terms, it is clear that no mean terms, two mean terms are equivalent. That is our first conclusion. Each mean terms has the truth value t for exactly one combination of the truth values of the variable p and q. These are the two conclusions. We consider the mean terms when the truth value is t. That's why note that the number of mean terms appearing in the normal form is the same as the number of entries with the truth value t in the truth table of the formula. Means for this mean term, when we have the truth value t, this entry we have to consider as a mean term. Let's see the theoretical definition. An equivalent formula to given formula consisting of disjunction of mean terms only is known as its principal disjunction normal form, or also called as the sum of product canonical form. If we focus on these words, that disjunction of mean terms is known as the principal disjunction normal form or the sum of product canonical form. Means here, if we compare this disjunction of mean terms with the sum of product, then we can clear that disjunction means sum, therefore the mean terms means product. Here we have one example, that P and not Q and R, or not P and Q and R, or P and Q. In this statement formula, 3 elementary product terms P and not Q and R, second not P and Q and R, and third P and Q are connected by the sum. That's why we can consider it is the sum of product, that is the disjunction normal form. But let's check that is it a PDNF. In first elementary product term P, Q, R, all factors are available. In second elementary product term, not P and Q and R, again all 3 factors are available. But in third elementary product term P and Q, the third factor, that is R, is not available, it is missing. That's why this statement formula is DNF but not the PDNF. Let's have the second example, P and not Q and R, or not P and Q and R, or the P and Q and R. Now here again we have the 3 elementary product terms which are connected by the sum. That's why we can consider it as a sum of product, that is disjunction normal form. Now in our first elementary product all 3 factors are available. In the second elementary product term all 3 factors are available, and in third elementary product term all 3 factors are available. That's why now we can consider this statement formula as a PDNF. Means this statement formula is both the DNF and PDNF. From this example we can clear that every PDNF, it must be a first DNF. Let's discuss the rules to obtain the sum of product canonical, that is the principal disjunction normal form. We are clear that every PDNF first must be the DNF. That's why in the rules we have first 3 rules which are to obtain the DNF, that is the sum of product canonical form. The first is first replace the implies and double implies by their equivalent formulas containing the not and or. We have seen the three formulas for that. The second, apply the negation by using the De Morgan's law. And third is apply the distributive law. By using three rules, we can find out the DNF or the sum of product. Now, to find out the sum of product canonical form, we have the fourth additional rule that obtain the mean terms by introducing the missing factor. And fifth is that delete identical mean terms appearing in the disjunction. Means in short, we have the three rules. First, obtain the DNF. Second, obtain the mean terms by introducing the missing factors. And third, delete the identical mean terms appearing in the disjunction. Now we'll start to find out the PDNF. The first problem is obtain PDNF of P implies Q. First find out its DNF. To find out the DNF, the first rule is replace the implies and double implies by their equivalent not, or, and. Here we have one standard formula for the implies. Therefore, the P implies Q is logically equivalent to not P or Q. Now, if we consider the not P or Q, the not P is a one elementary product term and Q is the elementary product term, then these two elementary product terms are connected by the OR. Now we have to introduce the not Q with the not P and P with the Q, because in the first term not P, Q is missing, and in the second term Q, the P is missing. Then how to introduce the missing term we have discussed in this box. That suppose we have the not P, then we can write down that not P and in bracket Q or not Q, because when we write down the Q or not Q, that means it is the T, because Q or not Q, it is T. Then the not P and T, the not P and T is finally we can consider not P. Just like we write down the 5 plus 7 minus 7. If we written the 5 plus 7 minus 7, that is equals to the 5. Same we can write down the not P and in bracket Q or not Q, because Q or not Q is finally T and not P and T is finally not P. There is no any effect. In the second, we have introduced the Q or not Q with the P, and we have introduced the P or not P with the Q. Now in the first, not P and in bracket Q or not Q, inside the bracket there is a or and outside the bracket there is and. That's why we can use the distributive law. In the second term Q and in bracket P or not P, again inside the bracket or and outside the bracket and. That's why we can use the distributive law. By using the distributive law, it will the not P and Q, or the not P and second element not Q, or the Q and P, or Q and second element not P. Now arrange all these terms in a sequence of the P and Q. Therefore, it is logically equivalent to not P and Q, or not P and not Q, or P and Q, or not P and Q. Now the last rule is to remove the identical term. Here the first term not P and Q and the last term not P and Q are equal, are same. That's why remove the one term. By removing the identical term, the final answer is not P and Q, or not P and not Q, or P and Q. Now if we focus, the first term contain all the factors P and Q, the second term contain all the factors P and Q, and the third term also contain all the factors P and Q. That's why it is the final PDNF, that is the sum of product canonical form. The second, to obtain PDNF of P and Q or not P. Now P and Q, it is a one elementary product term, and not P is a one elementary product term which are connected by the sum, means it is already a sum of product. If it is already sum of product, we have to start with our fourth rule to introduce the missing factors. Now in the first term P and Q, both factors P and Q are available. Only with the second elementary product term not P, Q is missing. That's why we have introduced the Q or not Q with the P. It is logically equivalent to the P and Q, the first term as it is, or the not P and in bracket Q or not Q. By using distributive law, it will logically equivalent to the P and Q, or the not P and Q, or the not P and second element not Q. If we focus, there is no any repeated term, there is no any same term, identical term. That's why it is a final PDNF, that is sum of product canonical form. Third is to obtain PDNF of P and Q, or in bracket not P and R, or Q and R. Again, the P and Q is an elementary product term. Second, not P and R is an elementary product term. And third, Q and R is also the elementary product term. And these three are connected by the sum term, means it is already a sum of product. If it is already a sum of product, then start with the fourth rule, that is to introduce the missing factors. In first term P and Q, R is missing. In second term not P and R, Q is missing. And in the third term Q and R, P is missing. That's why we can introduce these missing terms like P and Q and in bracket R or not R, or not P and R and Q or not Q, or the Q and R and P or not P. Now by using the distributive law, we can distribute the first bracket over the elements of the second bracket. Therefore it is logically equivalent to the P and Q and R, or P and Q and not R, or for the second term not P and R and Q, or not P and R or not Q, or for the third term Q and R and P, or Q and R or not P. Now arrange all these terms in a sequence of P, Q, R. Therefore it is logically equivalent to P and Q and R, or P and Q and not R, or not P and Q and R, or not P and Q and R, or P and Q and R, or not P and Q and R. Now remove the identical mean terms. If we observe, there are the two identical mean terms. One is P and Q and R, and one is the not P and Q and R. If we remove these two identical mean terms, then finally we have the PDNF with the four mean terms, that is P and Q and R, or P and Q and not R, or not P and Q and R, or not P and not Q and R. That is the final PDNF, that is sum of product canonical form. Now fourth, to obtain the PDNF of the not in bracket P or Q, double implies P and Q. Now for the double implies, we have the two formulas, one in the term of sum of product and one is in the term of product of sum. We have to find out the sum of product canonical. That's why use the second formula, that is in the term of sum of product. And this formula is P double implies Q is logically equivalent to P and Q, or not P and not Q. If we consider here the first bracket as a P and second bracket as a Q, then it is logically equivalent to the first bracket and second bracket, or negation of first bracket and negation of second bracket. Therefore, here it is logically equivalent to the not in bracket P or Q and P and Q, or not P or Q and the not P and Q. If we solve this negation of the not, therefore it is logically equivalent to the not P and not Q by using the De Morgan's law, and P and Q, or the negation we can remove, therefore it is P or Q, and again by using De Morgan's law it is not P or not Q. If we focus on the first side, then inside a bracket there is and outside the bracket also there is and, then by using associative law we can combine all these terms, that is not P and not Q and P and Q, or remaining terms as it is P or Q and not P or not Q. Now in the first term there is not P and P and not Q and Q. Then we know identity law that not P and P is logically equivalent to app, and not Q and Q is also logically equivalent to app. That's why finally app and app is logically equivalent to app. Therefore it is logically equivalent to app, or remaining as it is P or Q and not P or not Q. Now again by using identity law, app or P is logically equivalent to P. Therefore here the app or this term P or Q and not P or Q is logically equivalent to the term P or Q and not P or Q. Now if we focus, it is the P or Q means elementary sum and not P or Q, that is the elementary sum, and these two elementary sum are connected by the product, means it is product of sum, but we require the sum of product. If the situation is occurred like this, we have to obtain the sum of product, but statement formula is in the product of sum, then we can use the De Morgan's law or distributive law. Here we are using the distributive law to distribute the first bracket P or Q over the elements of second bracket not P or not Q. Therefore it is logically equivalent to P or Q and not P, or P or Q and not Q. Again by using distributive law, it is logical equivalent to P and not P, or Q and not P, or the P and not Q, or Q and not Q. Now it is the final DNF. Now arrange all this in terms of the P and Q. Therefore it is the P and not P, or not P and Q, or P and not Q, or Q and not Q. Now P and not P, it is logically equivalent to app, and Q and not Q, again it is logically equivalent to app, and we can ignore this app in the OR operation. Therefore finally it is the not P and Q, or P and not Q. It is the final principal disjunction normal form, that is the sum of product canonical form. Now the fourth type of the normal form is principal conjunction normal form. As we have seen, conjunction means and means the product. Therefore the conjunction normal form means it is the product of sum, and principal conjunction normal form means it is the product of some canonical form. Again we have the one statement P or Q and P or not Q and P or not Q. Now here the P or Q, it is a one elementary sum term, P or not Q is a elementary sum term, and P or not Q is again the elementary sum term, and these three elementary sum terms are connected by the product. That's why we consider it as a product of sum. But is it a product of sum canonical form? Then we'll check. In the first elementary sum P or Q, all the factors are available. In the second term P or not Q, all the factors are available, and in third also all the factors are available. That's why we consider this as the product of sum canonical form. Let P and Q are any two statement variables. Then let us construct all the possible formulas which consist of disjunction of P or its negation and disjunction of Q or its negation. None of the formula should contain both a variable and its negation, same as the principal disjunction normal form. If we find out the possible formulas which consist of the disjunction of P or its negation and disjunction of Q or its negation, then there are the four possible formulas. It may be the P or Q, it may be the not P or Q, it may be the P or not Q, and it may be the not P or not Q. The disjunction of P and its negation and the disjunction of Q and its negation, it is invalid. Therefore, the P or not P and Q or not Q, these are invalid. We have to note down that elementary sum term means it is called now the max term. These valid formulas are called max terms or Boolean disjunctions of P and Q. If we construct a truth table for these four max terms P or Q, P or not Q, not P or Q, and not P or not Q, then again from this truth table we can conclude two things. First, every max term is a unique, and second, every max term contains exactly one false value. From the truth table of these max terms, it is clear that no two max terms are equivalent. Each max term has the truth value app for exactly one combination of the truth values of the variable P and Q. Means for any statement formula, we have to find out the max term, then we have to find out max term when the truth value is app. That's why note that the number of max terms appearing in the normal form is the same as the number of entries with the truth value app in the truth table of the formula. The theoretical definition is an equivalent formula to a given formula consisting of conjunction of max terms only is known as its principal conjunction normal form, or also called as the product of sum canonical form. If we compare these two words, conjunction of max terms and the product of sum canonical form, the conjunction means product, therefore here we can derive that max term means sum. We have one example, P or not Q or R, and not P or Q or R, and P or Q. Here we have the three elementary sum which are connected by the product. That's why we can consider it is the product of sum or the conjunction normal form. But the first contain all the three factors, the second term contain all the three factors, but the third term not containing all the three factors, R, is missing. Therefore, it is only the CNF but not the PCNF. Let's have the second example, that P or not Q or R and not P or Q or R and the P or Q or R. Then it is again the CNF. The first product term contain all the factors, second product term contain all the factors, and third product term also contain all the factors. That's why it is both CNF as well as the PCNF. From these two statements, it is clear that every PCNF, it first must be the CNF. That's why in the rules to obtain the product of some canonical, that is the principal conjunction normal form, the first three rules are to obtain the CNF. To obtain the CNF, the first rule is replace implies and double implies by their logical equivalent formulas containing the not and or. The second, apply the negation by using the De Morgan's law, and third is apply the distributive law. These three are to obtain the CNF. To obtain the PCNF, we have the additional rule that obtain the max terms by introducing the missing factors, and the fifth is delete identical max terms appearing in the conjunction. Now we'll solve some problem statements by using these rules. First is to obtain PCNF of the P or Q and not P. Now here the P or Q, it is the elementary sum, and not P we can consider the elementary sum, and these two are connected by the product, means it is already a product of sum form. Now in the first elementary sum P or Q, all the factors are available, but in the second not P, Q is missing. That's why as per our fourth rule, introduce the missing terms. Now in the conjunction normal form, how we can introduce the missing terms? If we have the not P, then we can write down the not P or in bracket Q and not Q. The Q and not Q, it is the one elementary product term. In conjunction normal form, we can introduce the elementary product term so that it will the not P or in bracket Q and not Q. The Q and not Q, it is always false as per the identical law, and not P or F, it is logical equivalent to not P. Again same as the 5 plus 7 minus 7 is logical equivalent to 5. In principal conjunction normal form, to introduce the max term, we can write down the not P or in bracket Q and not Q. Let's see. Therefore, it is logical equivalent to the first term as it is P or Q, and the not P or we have introduced the Q and not Q. By using the distributive law, it is logically equivalent to P or Q and the not P or the first element of bracket Q and the not P or the second element of the bracket not Q. Now if we focus on the given the P or Q and not P or Q and not P or not Q, then there are no identical terms. That's why it is a final PCNF, that is the product of some canonical form. The second is to obtain the PCNF of P or Q and not P or Q and Q or R. Now P or Q, it is the elementary sum, not P or R, it is the elementary sum, and Q or R is also the elementary sum, and these three elementary sum terms are connected by the product. That's why it is already a product of sum terms. But in the first term R is missing, in the second term Q is missing, and in the third term P is missing. As per our fourth rule, introduce the missing terms. If we introduce the missing term, then it is logically equivalent to the P or Q or R and not R, and the second term not P or R or Q and not Q, and the third term Q or R or the P and not P. By using the distributive law, it is logically equivalent to the P or Q or R and the P or Q or not R, and for second not P or R or Q and the not P or R or not Q. For the third, Q or R or P and the Q or R or not P. If we arrange all this in the sequence of P, Q and R, then it is logically equivalent to the P or Q or R, and P or Q or not R, and not P or Q or R, and not P or not Q or R, and P or Q or R, and the not P or Q or R. As per the fifth rule, remove the identical terms. Now here we have the two identical terms, the P or Q or R, and second is the not P or Q or R. After removing these identical terms, finally it is the P or Q or R and the P or Q or not R, and the not P and Q or R, and the not P and not Q or R. That is the final PCNF, that is the product of sum canonical form. Now third, to obtain PCNF of the not in bracket P or Q double implies P and Q. Now for the double implies we have the two formulas, one is in the form of sum of product and one is in the form of product of sum. Here we have to find out the product of sum canonical, that's why we'll use the formula, that is P double implies Q is logically equivalent to P implies Q and Q implies P. If we consider the not in bracket P or Q as a P and P and Q as a Q, therefore it is logically equivalent to the first term implies second term and the second term implies first term. That is the not in bracket P or Q implies P and Q, and P and Q implies not in bracket P or Q. If we solve this implies, then it is the not in bracket P or Q or P and Q, and the not in bracket P and Q or not P or Q. Now by using negation law we can remove this not, and by using the De Morgan's it is logically equivalent to the P or Q or P and Q, and the not P or not Q, or for the last term not P and not Q. Now if we focus on the first side, then we can use the distributive law. By using the distributive law, it is P or Q or P and P or Q or Q, and for the second side not P or not Q or not P, and the not P or not Q or not Q. Means we have distribute the first bracket over the elements of second bracket. Now here by using the associative law, the not P or Q or P, it is logically equivalent to the P or Q, because P or P is logically equivalent to P. In the second, Q or Q is logically equivalent to Q. In the third, not P or not P, it is logically equivalent to not P. And in the last, not Q or not Q is logically equivalent to not Q. Means we can remove all these repeated terms. Therefore, it is logically equivalent to the P or Q and P or Q and not Q or not P and not P or not Q. After arranging all these terms in the sequence of P and Q, it is the P or Q and P or Q and not P or not Q and not P or not Q. Now it is the product of sum. As per the fifth rule, remove the identical terms, that is the first and second, and the third and fourth. These are the repeated, that is P or Q, and second is also the P or Q. Third is the not P or not Q, and fourth is also the not P or not Q. Therefore, finally it is the P or Q and the not P or not Q. Now it is the final product of sum canonical form, that is the principal conjunction normal form.